Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here to talk about Heartless Hunter by Kristen Sigarelli. In this book, you are following Rune. She is a witch in a time that it is very dangerous to be a witch. She is not known. She's a witch in hiding. The witches used to rule this kingdom, but then they kind of went off their rocker and went a little crazy, and they have been like, they're out. They're out. They've been bye. Now there are witch hunters out there. It is illegal and bad to be a witch. You will get captured. You will get because of it. Rune is secretly the Crimson Moth, where she frees witches who have been captured. So if a witch is captured, she goes in, breaks them out so they can leave town. And her best friend's brother, Gideon, is like the head witch hunter. He is the big bad guy. Well, for reasons that they both have, Rune decides to try to seduce Gideon. He doesn't know she's a witch. Gideon tries to seduce Rune. He thinks she might be the Crimson Moth. And so they're like using each other. And Rune keeps going, this is so dangerous, I shouldn't do this because he's the head hunter, and if he finds me out, he's gonna kill me. They end up falling in love. This is a young adult fantasy. It's the beginning of a duology. The second book, Rebel Witch, just came out in February. I have not read it yet. I'm on hold at the library for it, and it just hasn't come up yet. I think I'm 10th on the list. I don't know. For being a young adult fantasy, this was a really good book. It didn't really read young adult. I read it really quickly. I liked the story. It was very intriguing. It had some like mythology and witch lore that I had not read before. So it was witches in a different way than I've read before. Not that I've read a lot of witch books, but the characters, like I loved Rune and Gideon falling in love. There was one part where I was like at the end, I was like, oh, this is what's going to happen. And guess what? That's what happened. So then I was like, okay, I mean, well, I see why you did it this way, but you didn't have to do it this way, but you did. So that part, it knocked a little bit off the rating for me. But overall, I really, really enjoyed this one. I love fantasy books. And again, this was witches done in a way that I hadn't read about before. And I appreciated that. So now I want to know, have you read this book? What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here to talk about Sisters of the Lost Nation by Nick Medina. In this book, you are following Anna. She and her family live on an Indian reservation in this town. There is also a casino, like close to the reservation, that a lot of people in the town work at. Anna also works at this casino. She is an outcast at school. She has no friends. She has been bullied. Her sister, her younger sister, is completely opposite. Her sister wants to distance herself from Anna because she wants to not be lumped in with Anna, who is weird and outcast and bullied. Anna's sister goes missing and no one knows where she is. What happened to her? Anna is trying to figure out what happened to her. She saw her last at the casino that they both worked at on the mysterious 7th floor. And so Anna's like, what is going on the 7th floor? Why did my sister go up there? She went into this one specific room. Where did she go? What happened to her? And so Anna is trying to figure out the mystery of what happened to her sister. And there's also like a paranormal side to this book. Anna has the belief that a dark entity has been stalking her for basically her entire life. And she thinks that this entity from Native American legend is the reason that her sister disappeared. So she's trying to, again, find her sister. This was such a good book. I think it's considered young adult, but it read very well. It was kind of creepy during some parts. I liked how it wove in the ancestry and beliefs and mythology from Native Americans and indigenous people. Like, it had several different myths in the book and how they like tied into everyday nowadays. I liked that. Nick Medina did have an author's note saying the reason he wrote this book is because Native American and indigenous women are like hurt and disappear more than like any other population. Okay, so he wrote this book based on a real story of a woman named Ashley Heavy Runner Loring. She went missing in 2017, and her sister Kimberly has been on the search for her since then. And it says that records from the National Crime Information Center indicate that more than 5,200 Indigenous women and girls were missing as of 2021. And so Indigenous women and children, girls, are just, you know, kidnapped and taken and things like that, way more than any other population. And so Nick Medina really wanted to highlight that in this book. And so that's where he got, like, it's not the inspiration, but like that's his reasoning behind writing this book. And I think that that's fascinating. I think it's wonderful that he can get those stories and those facts out there in such a powerful way. This book was very powerfully written. I flew through it, super, super, super enjoyed it, which sounds weird because, you know, it's about like a missing girl, but it was written so well. And it pulled me in and captured me from the beginning, and I flew through it because I wanted to know what was going to happen, and I wanted to know what happened to Anna's sister. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, horror, but also like some indigenous stories, then check this one out. But now I want to know, have you read this book? What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here to talk about Somewhere Beyond the Sea by T.J. Klune. This is a sequel book to The House in the Cerulean Sea, which is one of my favorite books of all time. In this book, you are continuing to follow some of the characters from the first book. You follow Linus, you follow Arthur, you follow an orphanage full of magical children who are the sweetest, most adorable, lovely children ever. Chauncey has my whole heart. I've said it multiple times. I adore that child. I will never not adore that child. My mom knows how much I love that child, so she got me a little plush Chauncey, who sits on my bookcase now because he's just my favorite. I love him so much. He just wants to be the bestest bellboy ever. Anyway, I could make a 20-minute video about Chauncey and why I love him so much, but I won't. You're here about the book. So in this book, you, again, are following Arthur and Linus as they raise this house full of magical children. They are being observed by someone else from the Department of Magical Youth. Dichotomy. The department in charge of magical youth. Dichotomy. Because these magical children are supposedly the most dangerous and, you know, the most volatile. And so are they really safe to be around? Or are they safe under Arthur's care? Should they still be allowed to be in this orphanage? So you have this character coming in who is very, very, very a 180 from Linus, who is the one that observed them in the first book. And she is very, very Umbridge coded from Harry Potter. She is in there just to find mistakes, make things up, make Arthur and the kids look bad. It's very much a book about, again, being yourself, found family. It doesn't matter what others think of you. It matters what you think of yourself, and don't be afraid to be your unique self because you are wonderful. And it's fighting government control and what outsiders think of the people on this island. People who have no idea, like they don't even live on this island. They have no relationship with these children. and it's just the government coming in and trying to be like, we know what's best for you, even though we don't know you at all. And, you know, that's not relevant right now or anything. That was sarcasm. Anyway, I liked this book. I gave it a 4.5. I did like this book. I love the characters. Again, love Chauncey, that boy. I did not like this quite as much as I liked The House in the Cerulean Sea. Although I did enjoy this book, I almost feel like it did not really need to be written. I don't feel like The House in the Cerulean Sea needed a sequel. It didn't have the same heart in the same way as the first book did. So while I did enjoy it, and again, I love these characters, I loved being back on the island with these children and with Arthur and Linus and everyone else, I did enjoy that. It didn't hit me the same way that the first one did. So, but I definitely think it's still worth a read, especially if you love these characters as much as I do. Did I mention that I love the characters? Read it for the kids. You know, that's what I would do, if nothing else. Anyway, now I want to know, have you read this book? What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.